Is that Paul? Paul! Pull over, come over! Dude, his hikes is so fun. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm gonna get yours. California, Pennsylvania,
Iowa,
Montana,
Ohio, Florida,
Nashville, Pennsylvania.
Good question. This, I want you to feel it. You know about silkworms?
Yeah.
The silk? This is silk. Okay? That's nope. Yep, you're right. This is the silk. When they take the little cocoon that's about that big, they make a cap out of it. And what they do is they start and make a little hole in it, and they just start spreading it and spreading and spreading. And it actually will end up like a bowl about this big. And then you start on the edge of it, and you just spin it because the cocoons are already set up. They're already set up and spun that way. So you've got really, really long fibers on it. So you can feel what silk feels like. This one's cotton, and it has a totally different feel.
Ooh, whoa.
Is that silk?
That's soft.
Okay. Yeah, I had a wool one too. There's actually a raw wool and a carded wool.
Oh!
I didn't bring any raw wool to card. Except for that. Okay, if they just shear it, this is the cotton wool. Yeah. If you shear it, it's just like this. So it's got sloughs in it, it's got garbage in it and that, and then you have to take the carders. Maybe the carders out there, and I'll just go ahead and do one of these pieces to save the other one. It's kind of laid out in the right way. So you're just going to catch it on the hook. This is wool.
I remember doing that. Yeah, me too.
Carla, that sounds stupid. Is that straight off the animal like
This
that?
is straight off the animal. You can feel the lanolin in it. You can see the garbage in it. I don't think this one, if it's washed, it's just been barely washed. And I'm not raking these hard against, I'm not raking them through one another. I'm just going across the ends of it. Then you take it, flip it over, pull it off. So see, you're lining up your fibers on it that way. And if you have dyed wool like this other is, you can layer it on in different colors. You can pick out different colors. You can end up having it so that you can end up spinning different colors of wool. And then you have to decide if you want to take the knolls out, little stuff here. That almost looks like styrofoam. You can take them out or leave them in, and if you leave it in, it makes more of a novelty yarn. But if you have colors here, the more you card them, the more blended it gets. Has anybody ever painted in oils?
Yes,
Yes.
And the more you start messing with them, the more they get muddy. And so the colors will end up blending together. So then you would take it after you finish like that. You start it over this way, and you would roll it off. So you can either roll it into the roll, or you can take it straight off together. Natasha, do you want out, hon? Wool is really nice. It's really easy to spin because it's got such a texture to it. It grabs onto itself. See, then I would take it like this and spin it out from here. But you can see even in this, there's still a lot of dirt in it.
Straight up.
It's kind of weird.
That's right off there.
So just feel the lanolin. That's where you get your lotion stuff from. And if you spin very much raw wool, you really don't have to use any lotion. It'll keep your hands really dry.
It has like oils in it?
Yeah, that's what keeps the sheep dry. And in Australia, they don't wash their wool as much. They just barely wash it. They leave a lot of lanolin in, then they knit it up, and you have a waterproof sweater.
Oh, wow.
Huh? Kind of feels like it, doesn't it? Because of the texture of the pinkies of the sleeve of the wool.
Did you want your Angora?
Janine, I did bring the Levi blanket. Yeah. You can use it. Okay, Angora goats. You've heard of Angora goats? That's what this one is. Very, very soft. Very soft.
Is that mohair?
It would be pretty close, yeah. It just depends on the breed of the goat, whether you're getting the Angora or the mohair. Did it go around? Yep. Okay. You want it open all the way or just now?
Those are all jeans.
In the newspaper on photo. That's what you do when they wear out.
I get outgrown.
Here. I know, there's all these people.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. You want to take the Indigo blanket? Well, that one has been around for over 20 years. So do they let you guys sew?
No.
No?
Can you go fast?
I can go fast, but then I have to work my hands fast because it'll pull it up.
That is so soft.
There are people, Navajos do it a lot. People where we used to live did it, and they would just take the shearings from the sheep, wash them, and stuff pillows with them. And then once a year they would take it out, wash it again, fluff it up, and put it back in. So instead of down pillows, they had a bunch of stuff in the sheep.
That is soft. What would you make out of this goat hair?
The Angora goat?
Yeah.
Oh, anything that goes up against your skin. Because it's so nice to have that soft feel against you.
Now, is that ready to knit now?
No, what you do is you ply it back on itself, so you'd end up with a piece like this. You take it off on what's called a niddy knotty, and it's basically taking it into a very large skein. And then you take that skein, then you take that skein and you soak it in water. What shrinks wool is the change in temperatures, not hot water, not cold water. It's a change back and forth. So if you want to felt something, make it into a piece of felt, then you can take the wool, you can lay it out in layers, you can put it in hot water, cold water, hot water, cold water, hot water, cold water, and compress it, and you've got felt. You make felt hats and that kind of stuff. That's how they do the felt. So after I put it off on this long skein, I tie it off in pieces around so that I've got it controlled. I stick it in the water and get it really, really wet. Then I hang it up with some weight on it. And what that weight does is it sets the twist. Then after you set your twist, then you can do it. If you don't, you end up with kind of an outfit that goes like this. It kind of doesn't hold right. It's kind of like locking doilies and that type of stuff. You have to set that twist in it to get it to stay. Questions? And I'll tell you, I don't know if I don't know. I got given 1 gram of wool. We had a spinning contest and everybody was given 1 gram of wool. 1 gram of wool does not even fill up a film canister. It is about cotton ball size or smaller. Whoever got the longest unbroken strand of it won 4 minutes. We had, I think, 7 or 8 minutes to do it in. And so I hadn't spun very much, and I had a lot of people around me, including somebody with a great wheel. And next to me was the truck driver. The truck driver was a big old guy, but he spun every night when he got off his truck down to the lab. It's very mesmerizing, very relaxing. You don't have to think about hardly anything, you know, and you watch your old West movies or cartoons for you guys, you know, and stuff like that. But, what is it you watch nowadays? Cartoons. And so at the end of that time, I have a tendency to spin really fine, and I can't spin heavy. No, that's hers.
This is her.
I didn't do it. That's when I was beginning. This is wool and mohair combined. Mohair.
This is goat hair.
Your soft white ones is the hair, the mohair, and then the gray ones is the wool. So you combine your two, so you have your strength of your wool and your warmth of your wool, and the mohair also, and then it creates that hair pocket. So that
I'm sorry, this is mine. This is yours.
So you can ply it like that. I've plied it with metallic threads.
Oh, that's some store-bought stuff. Yeah.
Let me see the black one, Irene. Oh, sorry.
This is also what she's saying.
Okay. That's what you're looking
So this is only single ply. It hasn't been plied back on itself. So there's some single ply wool. And then this is some that's plied together with something else.
Here's your other stuff that you've spent. I don't know if you want any of it.
And it's fucking made out.
This one,
Yeah, that's the one that's kind of considered.
then as you start knitting it, this is all in some wool that I'd been
We're
given.
doing it over again.
It was raw wool, not raw wool, but dyed wool. So it was already carded out like this, kind of like this. And I picked out different colors I wanted. So I could have some blue area and I could have some brown area. And then this was that other that's going around, that's the roll of that put in there. So that's what you get when you've got it knitted up. And it can be loose, but it still provides you a lot of warmth.
What was that gonna be?
Well, it actually is. I decided not to knit it quite like that, but I took that wool and knit it up into a sweater. And the sweater starts with one sleeve and goes across to the other sleeve with stripes in it. And I took the different colors that I divided out into stripes. So if I wanted to, I could pull this red out of here. Instead of having it blended in as a little bit of a red tint in here, I could just end up spinning just the red area. Just take that out and just spin that. Find that. Keep you warm in the winter.
I want a beanie out of this stuff.
That would be cool. My mother does a lot of knitting. My daughter does knitting. I kind of prefer to crochet. So.
But you even made kids' toys.
Yeah.
You made kids' toys. I bought her
Oh, you brought the balls?
My sister,
She's got them all. Sorry. Catch up.
I'm not like
Because these are just soft, and no matter what you do, then nobody's going to get hurt. I mean, it's the old-fashioned Nerf ball, guys.
But you just, and they stuff them with scraps, whatever they had left over.
So it's
But you can make dolls and animals and
Yeah.
they knit all kinds of stuff.
Don't stick your hand up. He hasn't had his breakfast yet.
goodness gracious.
it looks like a lion. But
I think you'd enjoy shearing, don't you? My
You'd
mother
feel a
has
lot
spun
better.
dogs, she's spun musk dogs, she's spun camel, buffalo, dog hair, people's hair. So you can spin anything.
Did I hear you say people's hair?
Yes,
Dog's hair.
and dog's hair. Yeah.
Camel.
The underside of the animal has a lot softer hair than the outside. So if you do the belly hairs of the animal, it's a very, very soft wool.
You can do people hair too?
People hair doesn't have a lot of, what do you call it?
Lanolin.
No, the coarseness to it to grab onto things. But my niece had red hair down past her bottom. And so they took what they cut off, and as she spun the red into it.
You can spin it with other things. You can't spin it
Yeah,
by
it doesn't
itself.
work very good by itself. Cotton itself is a little hard because it doesn't have the grip. The wool is a lot easier to spin. Any questions? Were you guys, any of you here last year then? Oh, good. You guys.
Chapel was here.
Chapel was here.
Tyler Chapel.
He was here for 17 months. He left. He stayed a couple of weeks ago.
So no questions at all? Aren't you glad you didn't have to dress up like they used to?
You made your own socks.
Your socks.
I brought socks. I'm gonna still pink pair if she doesn't like.
They're my two favorite colors.
They're comfy.
These look really comfy.
I want those.
Feel how soft they feel. I love.
like
No,
those?
I already got claim on those. Aren't those cool? I love the colors, and they're so comfortable feeling.
Are those wool?
Oh, really? Yeah.
They are wool. They actually have some nylon in them, so they stretch.
Tasha, here.
But you should just make them out of wool. These have some nylon in them now.
made these?
Yes, she did. She's a great knitter.
This is the pair I just finished. I just gotta tuck in all the ends.
Hey, Russell, why you just keep on pointing that at me?
Got one hanging up.
Russell, stop filming, dude.
That's the whole thing.